Happy birthday, Shauna. It's your day to shine. Laugh a little louder. Everything's divine. Candles on your cake. Make a wish come true. All the world's a little brighter just because of you. Let the good times roll, dancing through the moments, heart and soul. Happy birthday, Shauna. Happy birthday, Shauna. Today's all about you. Today's all about you. Happy birthday, Shauna. Happy birthday, Shauna.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tenderly Loving Elvis. It is my birthday, and as promised, I have some special guests here that's going to tickle y'all pink. This is Memphis Mafia Kid and Teresa.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, girl. We're glad to be here on the birthday celebration.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here. It's like a party, really. Thank you, guys.
Well, you know, it's always so much fun, and we have good. And you know that's what y'all and other Elvis channels. That's what we're trying to say. That's what it's all about. That's why we do it, to get on there and
have a good time,
right? And share things, you know, about Elvis and you know what brought us. You know, it like you and a lot of the ones out there that you know are Elvis family, I call it, fans basically. But you know, it fascinates me how you know different people become, you know, and I like to know how they got, just like you like to know about, you know, how it was when I lived with you. So it, you know, it's just it's fun, it's great.
Well, I appreciate you guys being here. It's like what you say. We are an Elvis family. The ones that love Elvis, love your family, back each other up. We are one Elvis family, and it's more like to me, it's like an Elvis army, because we do, and we talk about Elvis, we talk about the love for him, but we also talk about the love for your daddy, for you guys, for the people that were in Elvis's life. And that's why I appreciate you guys, because to me, it's like, even though we're not blood, you know I'm part of the Elvis family.
We are, and we're strong. Hold on just 1 second. I got to do something. I'm gonna let Teresa talk to you. Hold on 1 second. I got something I want to do.
You talk to me, girlfriend.
All right,
okay.
I'll talk to you. He just leaves.
No, but I do have a question for you. How about this?
Okay.
How about this? Okay. So you've been with Danny for about 20 years now, right?
We've been married 20 years together.
20 years. Do you feel like you know a little bit more about Elvis personally than you did before you even became a Smith?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Because, when we're here, we was always reminiscing and talking about him and their lives with him and what he was like and everything. Hold on a sec.
Hey, Shauna,
Yes.
I got somebody wants to say something to you.
Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday. We just wanted to say happy birthday to you and hope you live to be as old as we are.
You guys, I love you guys. I love you guys. Billy and Joe, thank you guys. Oh my gosh. You made this girl happy.
Well, have a good night.
Thank you guys. I love you guys. Bless you guys. Wow.
Bye-bye.
Now that's a birthday present. Thank you, Danny.
I don't think me, thank them. They
It was almost like you could have just put a big bow on him. That would have I did
well, it's like you said, it's family, and
his family.
that's where I get it from, their heart.
I
And
love
they're-
them. I love you guys. Thank you guys for bringing them on even for a minute. Thank y'all. It means everything to me. That's the best birthday present to me, guys.
Oh, good.
Hey, to me, just having a birthday is
Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, one more year on this earth is a gift from God, One more year. So thank you. That means everything to me. Thank you guys. Wow. Goodness. I'm kind of more tickled pink than you guys are. But I was asking Teresa if she feels any different about Elvis, more like on a personal level, since she married you than she did before.
And I do.
She said she
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, when we're here, there's always talking about, time with him and what he was like and the things that they all did.
I mean, that's what people, we're just plain simple people like everybody. And of course, in our family, we do just like every family get together. We remember memories of family and, and stories. And sometimes, when we come up here, we'll just sit around and get started on it. I'll want, you know, about my granddaddy and my grandmother and about Elvis and, like when they were, little and stories, that, that daddy passes on or shares, and, Teresa for 20 years now, she's been a part of that and she's fit in. I sit and think a lot of times we truly believe in things happen for a reason.
Mhm.
So I can understand that part of it. But I wish, I know Elvis would have loved her to death. And I know for a fact she would have loved him.
I think so, Teresa. You just have that type of personality, girlfriend.
You gotta have, well, she'll tell you, in this family, you gotta be tough. You gotta learn to take the crap, and you gotta learn to give it back.
But that's a good one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My family's kind of the same way. If you're going to talk about us, at least get it right, man.
But real quick, and then we get started into whatever topic you want to do. Like I said, we're just having fun and sharing stories and stuff. But I want to say that we appreciate you having us on your show. We love doing and sharing the Elvis world and and the other channels. And I love promoting just like all y'all do us. We scratch each other's back, and whether some people don't like it or whether they do, it doesn't really matter. The majority of the Elvis family, which is all of us, we do, and that's all that matters.
That's right. Because, at the end of the day, if y'all didn't love me or like me, you wouldn't be here right now.
Right.
Oh, I could, yeah.
That's right.
And the same, same with you. Y'all giving our channel props or
Yes,
stories
sir.
and things we say. You know, you can look and listen to a person, and it don't take you but just a few minutes to tell if it's real or not.
That's true. You can tell a fake emotion to a real emotion. And the
Exactly.
thing is, we kind of all have maybe the same type of little personality, because I just love that you guys like to joke and cut up and things. So do we. So it's like hello. I
Right,
think
right.
the same with people here.
And that's what it's all about. And
Yeah.
you do yours a lot like ours, just kind of, laid back, in your area. And we've always just shoot it straight out. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of people, had mentioned for years, that's what they love. That we wasn't going by a skit or reading, and you can tell, not to mention any names, but some people just, they're reading off a prompter or a wall or whatever, and I mean, you can tell it. But if that's their thing, hey, do it. That's just not mine. I
Yeah.
like to be together as a family, and we have fun and enjoy it,
Like a regular conversation.
right, for what it's
Right.
worth.
Right.
I
That's-
move around a lot.
That's just our atmosphere.
I've hurt my
Yeah,
back.
she's
So
hurt her
if
back.
I'm squiggling around, it's because I'm readjusting.
Well, I do have a question for you, Danny, since we are talking about this.
Okay.
You do such a great job, you and Teresa, with your own channel. What's the most rewarding part of you personally when it comes to connecting with the fans and keeping Elvis history alive?
Oh man, you got me where I could go on.
And yay!
Yes, the main thing now is to keep it moving on, and nothing gets to my heart more than when we have young folks subscribing or sending in questions or
I mean, when we meet them.
right, especially like if we're on, mom and daddy's event, or if we're in Tupelo, for the June Fest, or anywhere, and they just, they come up and talk, and it's just like, I was a kid and grew into a teenager and lived my life with Elvis, and here you are, now I'm an old man, and you're as crazy about Elvis as it just blows my mind. It blows my mind.
Well, I'm gonna blame my mama. It's my mama's fault,
Exactly.
She had me in 77. I was 4 months old when Elvis died, even though you were almost 14. You were 14, right?
Right.
I was 4 months old. Mama gave birth to me to the album Moody Blue. Okay. And she instilled it into me, the love of Elvis. So I'm not the most youngest chick in Teresa and Danny. I'm almost 50 years old. There's more younger fans than I am, but y'all, it's like this. No matter what, no matter where you come from, no matter what walk of life, Elvis fans do matter. Just like what your mom and daddy did beginning, just like what you're doing now with Memphis Mafia Kid. Elvis fans matter. We love Elvis. It don't matter what walk of life, how old we are. There could be a 3-year-old dancing to Moody Blue, Burning Love right now on YouTube. It's just something clicks in us. Something just goes click, and we're just an Elvis fan from then on. And any walks of life, from different countries, all ages. And that's why we love what you doing. We love what your mom and dad's doing, because you guys have the stories that we want to know. We want to know. Well, I put it this way. I'm an inquiring Elvis mind. I want to know everything. Now, granted, I ain't going to know everything, because there are things that you're going to hold back. There are things that you're going to keep private because you love him as family. I get that. But when you share personal things, it just brightens our day, especially if it's something that we have not known before, because it's like, oh, wow, we found something new out today. And it makes us exciting, because it's like, we love Elvis, but we also love y'all because you're his family. You see, it just correlates.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because you're absolutely right. And you know, Danielle, our daughter, and Teresa has both been accused of asking questions that they didn't need to ask. Okay, I'm sorry. So basically, go through and pick the ones you want, and the ones you don't want, then don't answer. That's you know, like you said, the majority of the people want to know. And if it's something, and mom and daddy too, we've never said, only thing we've said is what we were asked and the truth. And we never said, anybody has to like it or that's up to you. We all have choices in this world, thank goodness. And we're free to believe and feel what we want to feel. And that's the whole purpose with some of the things going on right now with certain ones. They got to make it, that it's, a bad thing, and it's not.
Well, I don't know how Danielle does it, but I don't pick the questions. Danny lets me know what questions and not the questions.
And I don't actually pick them. I try to go through there. I do to a point. I try to make sure and mix up that it's different topics, because I think. But
well, I'm sure if there's something too controversial or something that you don't want to answer because of the love you have for your cousin, you're not going to answer. There are some things that you're not going to answer.
Exactly. And we said that. Mom and Dad said that before. There's things that'll never be.
Mm-hmm.
But bottom line, like you said, they've said it, I've said it. If it's something that we don't want to answer, we won't answer. But we'll be respectful and nice about it.
And sometimes some of them have already been asked.
Right.
Not that long ago, we've already discussed.
You do it, and people see things different ways, but I'm sure you do, or have, or you will. You'll get some repeated questions. But remember this: it's kind of like Elvis said one time. Every time we go on, we've got to put on the show like it's a different audience, or it's a different audience they've never heard us.
Right.
The same way, that's the same way I feel about the YouTube. Even though you maybe had a question asked before, this new person that asked may have just subscribed, may just join you, and may have missed them older videos, and they want to know.
Exactly.
So you can't please everybody. I know that, but we try to do the best we can.
I think you guys do a pretty good job because everybody is in a different walk of life, different age, different times of when they subscribe to your channel. It's just there's different people, and you do it the best that you can to your ability. And that's why I respect you guys. You don't treat people mean. You don't treat people with disrespect. You guys treat them as an Elvis family, and that's why I respect you guys, not just because you're Elvis's cousin, but because of how you guys treat the fans. You guys treat them with love, kindness, and respect. Unless they don't do that with you, and I get that.
Yes,
we appreciate that, but also too, once again, I've even said this: who the hell are we to treat anybody indifferent? We're no better than nobody else, A lot of people do. I'm not going to say they don't, and they have called it. We were talking about this other night. A celebrity, and appreciate the honor in what you're trying to say, but no, I'm just
regular people.
I'm just like you. But you know what? I was lucky, and I did receive from God to have a family member that was as big as he was. He was the one. So that's just not the way we were ever. That's one thing I can say, and I've said it many times, that if there's one thing I learned and respected, and I still would respect my mom and daddy from it. And a lot of the old ones that's still here can tell you, and everybody else that's ever met them, they treat you just like they've known you forever, and and they're no better. They don't pull that crap. They don't have time for you. I said it a long time ago. Nothing makes me madder than some of the, and I won't mention names on some of these movie stars or entertainers. But for the ones that don't have time to take 20 or 30 seconds to sign an autograph or take a selfie or whatever, they need to recheck themselves. Who did they think? Why did they think where they're at? If those folks didn't buy them tickets,
let me tell you, your cousin Elvis was a different kind of plane than the celebrities of this day. He believed that they put the shirt on his back, and the celebrities today won't even give you the time of day. There's a difference,
and that's the truth. But he didn't believe it. He knew it.
Yeah,
and he said it many times, and he honored, and it shows today, or we wouldn't be here talking about Elvis or having Elvis YouTubes or Elvis channels or Elvis nothing if he hadn't showed the respect and the love for his fan and knew who put him where they put him.
Yeah, and he knew that. He never forgot that.
That's he had a gift. Yes, he had several God-given gifts: looks, attitude, voice, and all that. But guess what? If the fans had loved him and bought them tickets and cared for him, he would have faded out. But
absolutely. But he knew who put the shirt on his back. He knew at the end of the day who to honor while he was in the position he was in. It was the fans. Exactly. And that's what I love about you guys. You feel the same way. You have love for us fans. You understand our craziness of why we're so obsessed with this guy that was just your cousin, but he was a famous man. But no matter what, at the end of the day, from what I've learned from where I am in the walk of my life and what I've studied, I've learned this. Even though he put his pants on one leg at a time, he knew who put the shirt on his back, and he knew who to honor, who put him there. He knew it was us fans. And you guys feel the same way. And I love you guys for this. It's just, you're very, what's the word I'm trying to get? To me, you're down home. Do you get what I'm saying? You're down home. I don't know. It just seems like, you open the door to us, all Elvis fans that respect and love you guys as much, for what you were in Elvis's life. You are down home with us. We're on the same page. And new fans come in every day and they get on the same page as we are. Now, there's some that just don't care. They're over here. They're a little mixed up at the end of the day. But when you do your research, it's like, you guys have the stories. You guys are keeping his legacy alive by telling the stories, even just to me or the newer fans that come in. That's where your channel comes in. Your mama and daddy's channel comes in. You're telling us the stories, not just what we want to hear, but what you want to tell us. It's up to you guys what to tell us, not whatever other people tell you to tell us. You tell us what's in your conscience that you want to share. And we love and respect you for that. And we watch y'all's channel for that, the stories. You're keeping them alive in these stories, Danny. You're keeping them alive in the stories you're telling your children, your grandchildren, even, in fact. What your legacy is. Just because Elvis has a legacy, so do you guys as well. Have a legacy.
And I appreciate that. But now, Shawnee, that it's not an excuse just because we lived there, we done that. That's probably one of the, me, I'm straight up, probably one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. How do you learn things about people? Anybody's ever learned. It's called history, and it's through family. It's through people that knew people, through people that was kin to people, love people, right? Experienced people, good and bad, because we're all human. And
I know it. I have been accused of being a Smith ass kisser, but I'll tell you guys straight up, I've never kissed y'all's ass. I love you guys for who you are as human beings. how
Well,
you guys treated
we've
me.
seen all
I
that.
didn't just wake up yesterday and go, I'm just going to love the Smiths no matter what because they related to Elvis. No, we have had conversations. We've got a type of history. We've talked. We know each other in a degree. I respect you guys. It ain't just I wake up one day and go, oh, you're related to Elvis, so I'm going to kiss your ass, Danny. That's not who I am. I'm just
Right.
saying.
We know that. Well, that's not who a true Elvis fan is. And that's what I've said. And we know that and understand that. And other people don't. I mean, and that's the whole thing after a while. But everybody's seen. You let it take its place. But no, I'm not going to sit around and let my Elvis family, because I never call anybody any names, blah, blah, blah. Horse crap. Okay. Ass kissers, trashers, backstabbers,
Yeah.
why?
I don't know. It's the YouTube world verse that we're living in, I guess.
Well, yeah, or just, somebody else that lives in a different world, and if you don't totally agree with them, then you're all bad things. But hey,
Yeah.
we move on. Like I said, we know where it's at and what's going on. Numbers show it. The love shows it. The people show it. Just like you, we get it every day, and to give and love and do like exactly what we're doing right now. That's all I've ever done my whole life. That's all I know, and I couldn't imagine not doing it. People that I have met over the years that is my Elvis family. A lot of them's gone, but it's like I said the other day in the video. I never. There's not too many days goes by that I don't remember a story about them or remember something we did, and always remember as kids growing up into a teenager, and then on up through adult life, the time that they spent and the time that they shared with us when they didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to, but they did. Now that's love. That's loyal.
Yes, sir, it is. And
And what they've given me and done for me, I'm always going to have their back, and I don't care who don't like it.
see, that's why you're a top dude. You don't care who likes anything. What you care about is your integrity and who you are as a human being. You're not caring about all this noise around you. You're caring about what you're doing, your family, and what what you need to be, given to us Elvis fans, because you respect us and we respect you for it. But Teresa, let me get back to you, sweetheart, because you're all quiet, and I know it because I hadn't asked you nothing. But since it's my birthday, I want to ask you.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, you forgot the tape. You have to tape me up against the
Are you going to move her mouth to talk? Yeah. My question is, were you ever an Elvis fan before you went with Danny, or was this all afterwards? Were you an Elvis fan in the beginning?
Not really. My mother was a big Elvis fan. So every, I don't know, Saturday or Sunday, she'd watch the Elvis movie, and I'd watch it with her. I enjoyed watching them with her. But she and my aunt Nita were the big Elvis fans in the family. I'm more listening to like Duran Duran and Queen. When I was
oh yeah, you were an
Hey, City Rollers,
No.
Look, her favorite crush was, guess who? On Chip.
Who?
He was on Chip. Can you tell me who it was?
That was when I was very young.
Oh my goodness! Is it the one with the black hair?
Eric
Yeah.
Estrada.
Estrada.
You probably never saw it, but I had the
Are you
poster
kidding
of
me?
him in the white tux on my ceiling. But I mean, I was very young then. Because most of Danny's young. Musician-wise, I'm not young as that.
You can't be that much older than me, baby. How old are you? I mean,
I will, in about 3 weeks, May 17th, I'll be 60.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched Chips too, but I think I don't know if they were reruns or not. I was watching it like 1981, 1980s.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was reruns.
Probably.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, come on, you was only born in 77.
No, I'm almost 50, Danny. Today's my 49th birthday.
Well, she has a whole nother year.
Yeah.
I only have a few weeks.
Oh, man.
When you was 5 years old, I was graduating high school.
You're okay. You're okay. My
I
older.
know, but that's what I say. But look, gosh, look.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. My eldest brother, my eldest brother is your age.
Mine?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. He was born in 63.
Yeah, 63.
All right. So see?
Hey,
And my middle brother was born in 72. So
You were the
Wow.
the late baby.
I was.
Yeah.
My mom wanted a girl so bad. She had all boys. And she wanted a girl so bad. And then here I go. That was my mom's
know,
last.
it's about family. That's
It is. It is.
everybody has it different, but a lot of folks is the same way. But we get a lot of feedback on that and a lot of comments, and it's true. Nothing is more precious than your family.
It isn't.
I mean, to me, but that's even, and that's the way Elvis was. That's just the way my daddy grew up. Then we grew up, and it just. I mean, even today, like I said, we don't go long without getting together. And we're gonna do something. That we've always done: play games, play cards, joke, fish, ride side by side. Questions come up like that.
Do you do what my family does? Because we're from the South. Do you put crazy on the porch and hand them a drink?
Yeah. I'm not gonna sit there and
Talking
and
about
you know what?
Teresa.
And you know what? I'm gonna sit here and say this, and you watch how many viewers will agree with this, but unless they're asked. But we do like a whole lot of our viewers doing their families and stuff. We'll get together and talk about something.
Yeah. I believe it. In fact, I'm coming into your neck of the woods May 23rd on a Saturday. Might come and get coffee with you. I'll call you when I'm in town.
Dude,
I will.
seriously, I mean,
Seriously, I'm gonna go see Mama. I'm gonna go see my mom. She lives in Arkansas, and I'm in Georgia. So I gotta cross through Tupelo, and then I gotta go through Memphis, and then West Memphis, into Arkansas.
Yeah.
So I'll be going into y'all's neck of the woods. We could have a drink of coffee or something.
dude, we have got a great little coffee shop that has great coffee. Lainey, she loves it when she comes down. She wants to go every day.
When I'm in town, I normally put gas in my tank around Tupelo. So I might give y'all a call and we can have at least maybe a 30-minute coffee, and catch up. But
Yeah.
I need a hug. I'm a hugger. I need some hugs, Teresa.
We love it. We love it. I love the hug. It's just Teresa sometimes just keeps pushing you away. Yeah.
Hey, my husband's the same way. It's like as soon as he's just like, okay, whatever. But
There's always something suspicious about the hug,
But hey,
It can never just be a hug.
I know how to work her though, as I'll just how much money you want?
It's not about that.
What have you seen you like? That's like with our anniversary just comes up. The way I've done it for years, and a lot of people go, "Oh, well, that's bad," but she knows. I go with her, and then just like I tell her, pick out and get what you. I mean, other than me trying to find something and not knowing for sure, because well, now she probably would say, "No, I don't like it," but that's what it's about. I love her. I want her. I want her to have what she wants to have, and it's just easy for me to do that. Now some women or men may take that personal. Like, you didn't pick that.
Hey, I get it. My husband, he has the hardest time. He knows I love Elvis, but he has the hardest time buying me birthday presents, Christmas
Yeah.
presents, things like that. And I have a hard time buying my man stuff because in his mind, he can buy his own stuff. So what do you buy a man who can buy his own stuff, you know? And he thinks the same way about me. So you guys know, I love Elvis, but I also love, you see this peacock behind me?
I like to.
This is based off of his suit, right? Elvis's
Yeah, Mama
peacock
and
suit.
Teresa both love it. That's nice.
In my mind, Elvis is the ultimate peacock. The male is the most prettiest peacock. Let me show you what my husband got me for my birthday this year. Just so he knows I love peacocks and he knows I love Elvis and he knows peacock is Elvis, right? The whole symbolism. So he got me this big old peacock, golden peacock statue.
Oh
Wow, that is pretty. I like that.
Girl that loves Elvis and peacocks is a big
That's awesome.
He told you when he gave it to you. He told you that was a statue of him strutting that stuff.
I think he was trying to do some fine tuning, Danny. I don't know.
Is that what it was?
That's what I would have told Teresa. I would have said I had to pose for that when they made it. But that's actually me strutting my stuff.
It's got feet and everything. It's honest to God, big old gold peacock.
So where are you going to put it?
Teresa, at this, I have no idea. I'll find a place. If you're you're like me, we will find a place.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
If I have to put it in front of my fireplace or something.
No. Go ahead and tell the truth. If you have to move something of your husband's, then you will put it. That's what Teresa does. And then I can't find wherever my stuff. Oh, I stuck it in there. Well, why? I had it right here. Well, I needed to put this on it. Okay.
I can stick it in the garage right by his toolkit. You know, say I just put this here to remind you of me. Here you go.
Yeah, go out there and move his toolbox and put it where the toolbox used to be.
No, it's in the house.
But reality though, I think this is the best thing. I mean, I couldn't believe it. He told me, okay, he bought this probably a month ago. I didn't even know he bought it. He just said, honey, do not open the trunk of my car. Period. Do not open the trunk to my car. Do not do it. I have video camera. I will see you do it. Do not open the trunk of my car. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why don't he want me to open his trunk to his car? Well, because this was in it.
Wow.
Yeah. See, I couldn't do that because the first damn thing Teresa would have did was went out there and opened the trunk of the car.
Well, in respect, when he said it 5 times to me, Danny, I just figured I shouldn't open the trunk to his car. There's something there. And it was close to it was like a month towards my birthday. I was like, and he never tells me this. So I'm like, he's either hiding something, which he doesn't do because I know him, or he's just telling me that maybe he got me something and I shouldn't open the trunk to his car.
See, we're always together.
Yeah.
Together. So there's no way.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, you know, and I'll be honest, I mean, we still, not all the time, we'll still get each other cards and stuff, you know. But like she said, we're usually always together, so I'll go, she knows what I'm doing, and then she'll go, and I know what she's doing. And then when we get home, you know, we make them out and hide them and then give them to each other. But, you know,
is it kind of hard? It's kind of hard to hide things from each other when you're always together.
It doesn't, and to us, I mean, that's just us, not everybody. Some people take, you know,
I think it's
you
the
didn't
age.
buy me a car, you know.
I think it's the age we're at now too, you know.
We told the truth in one of our videos one time, and a lot of folks get divorces over it and fight over it and all this about you forgot our anniversary. But about 3 years after we got married, this is the truth. I spit out a date in April, and she said that I knew it. That's not our anniversary. Our anniversary is such and such. And I said, man, I can't believe that. You don't know our anniversary. I know when our anniversary is. You don't. And we sit there and argue for a minute. I said, well, I'll tell you what. Let's just solve it. Get up, go get our marriage license, and then you're going to see that you were wrong. And she got up and got them, and she said, "Guess what? We both wrong. It's the 21st."
But we never forgot it. Like, oh, yesterday was our anniversary.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
like
the
that.
thing is, with your story of last week, you had a set date, but Danny just couldn't wait another week, so he just had to do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
Yeah.
He just couldn't wait.
And,
Right.
and we had the last couple of weeks has been just busy for us, doing a lot of things. And, of course, we pretty much take care of her dad and get stuff he needs, takes him where he needs to go and stuff. And, we just totally, and we had actually come up here to Mom and them. Can't remember now for a reason, but we come during the week when it's usually on the weekend. And anyway, it threw us off. And that's why she said on that video, one more day, tomorrow's the day. And we all, and everybody's, the 20th, we got the notice and everybody's sending this happy anniversary things. And Teresa's like, today's the 20th. And then we realized we had said that. So we had to go back and tell everybody it's the 21st.
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
It was off by one day.
Yeah, right.
But it's all
Hey,
right.
but once again, just birthday, just in general, being sick and all, and the notes or it goes from phone calls to text to mail, cards, and that's that first question you asked me. That's another thing that amazes me is the love that the Elvis family has. I've said it. I don't try to blow smoke up nobody's rear end. It is the truth. There's nobody like them. There'll never be anybody like them.
Well, it's kind of like you've adopted us and we've adopted you guys.
And
No?
that is the truth for years.
It's
Like I
not
said,
always about blood all the time. It's like we've accepted you guys, you've accepted us. It's whoever accepts whoever. And I understand there's people on this side, whatever, but at the end of the day, it's who's with you. And there's a lot of us with you guys. A lot of us. And Elvis fans can't be wrong. I mean, it ain't
No.
just the numbers, it's not just the views, it's not just the clicks. At the end of the day, when you guys go do your thing with the question, the sessions that your guys are going to do in August, there's a packed house. There's always a packed house, and I'm always jelly because I can't go because that's the busiest season of my work. I can never get off ever.
We have so much fun too.
We
have
do.
so much fun.
And that's the thing with Mama that they do, and that's it's hard to kind of explain, but us sharing our stories and stuff with y'all, how much y'all love it and it excites y'all and all, and for y'all to care and be interested and want that makes us feel same way, if I'm making sense.
No,
And
you
it's there's like I said, I just couldn't imagine, like I said, not have gone through life exactly the way I went through it. I mean, if it ends today, it has been the greatest in the world, and pretty much all of it because of one man, one family member. I mean, in our family, being what we are, but it's just without Elvis Presley, it just and that's not to get on it, but that's what I say a lot of times. I feel that some people think that that I put Graceland down, and I don't. It's not the same to me. That's all I'm saying.
Of course it isn't.
If you haven't seen it, I've said it a million times, go see it. But when Elvis left, that was Graceland. That was home.
Yes, when you were there and Elvis was alive, it was home.
Right.
But now it's a museum. And Lisa even called it in her book a mausoleum.
Right.
So there's a difference between home, museum, and mausoleum. It's not home anymore. It's a museum. It's a place for us all to see Elvis history and his artifacts, but it's not how you experienced it. It's
And
not
it's a
how your mom and dad or your brother experienced it. That was home.
Yeah.
Different.
Exactly. But you know, it's still beautiful, always is, and I want people that hadn't seen it to see it. You know, and I've said it, you know, and I've heard it for many, many years, and Teresa's heard it ever since we got together. Uh, One of the main things was each year of, you know, uh, things getting costly. You know, I don't, me and my family don't have anything to do with it. You know?
Mm-mm.
And I've said it a many a times. Uh, you know, I wished it could be what Elvis wanted, and you know, there could be something at least with the house and the grounds that could be affordable to everybody.
That's how Elvis wanted it. I mean,
Yeah,
he had his tickets
exactly.
placed on a certain dollar amount so everybody could join. He knew what it was like to be a pauper trying to see his favorites. So he didn't want it to be over expensive. It's not like that these days. You can't go to a concert for less than $200 these days. You can't. I don't care who you're going to go see. You go see anybody, you're not going to see them for less than $100, $150, $200. It's just, and you're not going to get a good seat for that.
I didn't pay that much. I paid a pretty good price. I'll tell you who it was. Because I liked some songs. The last was at the Pyramid, either 94 or 96. I'm not sure on the year, but it was one of those years, and it was Garth Brooks. And they were pricey, not near that pricey. So if
Yeah.
that's the
Maybe
last concert,
70, maybe in the 90s, and maybe it was like 70, 75
it
dollars, something like
was
that.
close to $100. Yeah, for a ticket,
Yeah.
a decent. But now that you're saying they're 200, I guess I've seen my last concert because I'm not paying $200 for anybody.
I'm gonna throw it out here. Maybe people don't know this about me, but I'm gonna throw it out here. I have never been to a concert in my life. True story. Not one.
I've only been to two.
You've never been, seriously?
Seriously. I've never been to a concert in my life. Not one. Not saying because I don't like the entertainers, not saying because it's just I don't want to go. I've loved Elvis so long and he's dead. But I haven't been able to, maybe Lisa, but I never, ever, ever went to go buy a ticket to go to a concert to see someone perform in my entire existence. And now I'm at the age where who am I going to see? Who am I going to go see?
Yeah, and truthfully on that, and don't mean no harm by it, but all the, and I probably shouldn't say it.
All the good ones are gone, or
all the great are gone.
yeah.
Most of, I mean, there's still some out there that I do like. I will say that. But once again, I'm just not the type. I'm not gonna pay that kind of money to go see one concert. It's just crazy.
I've never been in a position in my life where I could spend $100 to go see somebody. Okay, I've always lived paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. And I'm just putting it out there because this is real life, right? I'm not saying, oh, I have money and I'm great and I'm grand. I've always lived paycheck to paycheck to paycheck my whole life. So who am I to go to Ticketmaster and spend $100 to go see someone when I can see them on YouTube for free, seeing them on TV for free, seeing on downloads for free? That's just my point of view. It ain't that I don't like other artists. I do. I do. It's just I'm in that part in my life where I live paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. I don't have that money to just put here. I just want to go see someone. You know,
now we have those options.
Yeah,
we have all those.
I've never had that, and I'm not trying to tell you guys, oh, I am poor. No, that's not what I mean. I just mean that there are other priorities in life at some degrees where I can't afford You know, it's either a juggle. Like, do I pay $100 to $150 to see someone I want to see, or do I go buy new clothes for my son that keeps on growing and growing and growing? You know, which one?
Right.
You know, but Elvis was different. He never wanted his concert tickets to be so overwhelming that his regular fans that were poor couldn't see him.
No, that's right.
He had like, what was it, $1.50 tickets, $2 tickets?
Yeah, one time early on, it was
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
but yeah, you know, and
I
you
just
know,
I just wish other artists these days would,
yeah,
or
I,
Ticketmaster
I
would
agree.
have that same feeling, like, oh, you put the shirts on these bands' backs. We're going to give you cheap tickets so you can see the people you love or appreciate or admire. Go see them. Here's a $20 ticket. Go on and go enjoy. But that's not
There's
where
still
we
some
are.
out there. There's still a few that still have a heart. Not
Yeah.
full. But, you know, what we're talking about right now makes me think. That's why we do what we do on you know, the Elvis YouTubers and stuff. And you think about it, and some people, you know, get to looking at things different, and say, oh well, you know, I didn't want to see that. Well, you know, you're trying to help everybody, but like us, we like to shoot a little filming around Tupelo, up around Graceland, or anything Elvis connected that somebody in this world, not in the just in the United States, but in this world, might not. That may be the closest thing that they ever get to see it, and think of how it makes them feel. And we know, and like earlier when you asked me that question, it's the feedback and the love from those fans, because they have actually told us and said that, you know, I'll never be able to go to Tupelo. I'll never ever be able to go to Grace. I can, you know, I'll never afford to do so. You know, that's like the murals and stuff, you know, in downtown Tupelo on the wall, just to let them see it. Otherwise, they would never see it, and it all goes in and keeps Elvis's memory alive. You know,
Absolutely. I think that's why a lot of us, just my personal opinion, a lot of us feel connected to the Smiths because you guys were raised out of nothing. It was Elvis that was raised out of nothing, but you know, got lucky and
exactly.
voila, you know, he
That's
became
what I'm saying.
what
And
he
most
did.
everybody from the South was poor. You know,
Everybody, I'm telling you, not everybody are millionaires or can find some ways to be rich, but a lot of us live paycheck to paycheck.
right.
And Elvis,
And there's nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with that, especially our Southern roots. There's nothing wrong with that because a lot of us Southerners, that's how we're raised. You know, we remember our roots. We know what our mother and daddies had to do. We know our mom and dads had to break their backs to put shirts and pants on us to take us to school. You know, my dad broke his back when he was, well, excuse me, my dad broke his back in two when I was 11 years old. He was in construction and he laid drywall for a living on all these big projects, especially all the Holiday Inns, all in the South, my daddy built. And the thing was, my dad broke his back in two when I was 11. And that was back in 1989. And we didn't know how to make ends meet because my dad was the big breadwinner. So my mother had to go to work for the very first time when I was 12 after my daddy broke his back in two. And the church helped us and our community helped us. And daddy didn't like handouts. We were raised where you don't accept handouts. And if you do, you better be thankful somebody does hand out, but you didn't want to say anything to get the handout.
Yeah.
But my daddy was a very proud man. He wanted to take care of his family. So when I was 11, he broke his back in two, and they did a experimental surgery when I was 12. They took his, you know how every man is born with an extra rib, right?
Yeah, that we stole from the women.
There you go. Well, the doctor had a great idea. He decided to take that extra rib of my dad and put it into his backbone and fuse it together. So my dad, even though he could walk and do things, he couldn't work anymore. It was beyond. So my
Yeah,
mom,
he was limited.
right. So my mama had to go to work for the first time. She was a housewife, but she had to go to work making tools, craftsman tools.
Yes, I sure did. Yep.
Well, my mama made all the torque wrenches in the 90s and early 2000s. All the torque wrenches my mama made. And she,
Craftsman's still the best tool ever made.
thank you. But my mama was very proud of that because she made all the torque wrenches for Craftsman Tools. And she
Wow.
gave that company 30 years. But she didn't go to work for the first time until I was 12, when my dad broke his back in two. And the church helped us. The community helped us. And he finally got the rib put in for his spine, but it wasn't the same. But my daddy was a very proud man. And he wasn't going to bend for anybody. And it was like he told me a long time ago, you work for your own. You live for your own. You take care of your own. Handouts isn't something somebody should just go and get freely. But if you have to, God knows who to help. And I'm just like, he was a very proud man. And when mama had to go to work and stuff and daddy had to stay home, let me tell you, that wasn't great, Danny. My daddy was the breadwinner and he had to stay at home and sit in a chair, and my mom had to go to work. It was the worst thing for him. And he just had a tickle moment every time I would come home and go, Daddy, I'm going to play Elvis record. It's going to make us feel better.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's a smart thing.
Baby girl, you go play that Elvis record. And my daddy's favorite song was You Gave Me a Mountain. That's my daddy's favorite.
Beautiful song.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
play it for him.
with the story you just said, that I could see that kind of fits you.
So that, and it kind of makes me almost cry because daddy's gone now. He's been gone since 2008. He passed in 2008, but he showed me that the love of family and the pride for what you have, for what you work for, means something, not just thrown out there. You don't take handouts, but if somebody gives you something, you know that God is intervening and he's there for you. And the community helps community. But we didn't get handouts freely. That's not the type of family we were. And I have a feeling, since I was raised in the South and you were raised in the South, it's the same thing. You don't, you know it's there, but you don't accept it freely. There's a sense of a sense of Southern pride that's mixed in. And that's where I come from, Danny and Teresa.
I wanted to ask you something. Well, it's on my mind. I just because I've seen it, and so I'm gonna actually just bring it up. But let me say before, and then you can of course say why or something about why you do it and all. But right before, I think it was a thing because they knew we was gonna be on your show. But first of all, let me just say this. I can't make it any more plainer, but for my mom and daddy's book, Revelations of the Memphis Mafia, and also my daddy was involved in all the King's Men. And I'm only going to say this one time. There's nothing to excuse. It's been put that you and other people are trying to make excuses to make it this or that. Let me just address all your viewers, all of my viewers, anybody that's watching us, and it's been repeated before, we don't have anything to apologize, to be sorry for, or we don't need anybody making of us. It has to be something to be excused, and you know, that's just kind of childish to me. But hey, it is what it is. But
Well,
I had no idea you was doing it, but I did, find out and see it. So, I mean, why did you just come tell me? You just decided because I think it was made like, by us doing this, and it was all a created thing. And if people only knew the true story, that that ain't. But is it something like I said? Had you ever seen it before? We'll start that way.
in my life, I've never owned it. I never watched it from beginning to end. I only watched bits and pieces that I saw from people sharing it on YouTube. I never watched it from beginning to end before, and I never owned it like some people could own it. So when it was finally coming up to play that the Memphis Mafia were the enemies and this and that, I decided to investigate and found that All the King's Men was on YouTube. So I contacted, and I always talk to my brother, and I call Kyle from EP Vault my brother because he is family to me. He really is.
He's Elvis family. He sure is.
So I was like, hey, little brother, I want to do All the King's Men, and I know you have it on your channel, but I don't want to review what you have on your channel. So can you send me what you have? I'll play it, and I'll do my live reaction to it because I've never seen it. And so he was gracious enough to send them to me, all 6 volumes, so I can watch them live and show people my real reactions because I never seen it before. And I know some people think it's weird that I never watched them before, but there are bits and pieces on YouTube and things like that, but I don't have the patience.
Exactly.
After all this time and all the hoopla, and because I love y'all, and I do have a soft spot for Sonny and Red West. I just do. And I met Sonny and Red in real life when I was younger. I decided I wanted to review All the King's Men. I wanted to not sugarcoat things. I wanted to give you guys my real reaction to how I really think, especially with the research that I've done and how my opinions are with the Memphis Mafia. So I wanted to be able to watch it from beginning to end and to be able to give my personal opinion, like real time, and not like all the others, just like real live going on, whatever. And I know I've had some backlash, and I said it's controversial, but at the end of the day, I'll say this: I'm on part 4, and I've only had to say one thing out of all the 4 parts I've watched. I haven't seen anything really that bad. The only thing that maybe I could have critiqued from 1 to 4 is 2 things, Danny, to be honest. And I know maybe your dad might be listening because I am interviewing you in your dad's.
They're not,
but maybe you can play it for him later. But the only 2 things out of 4 episodes, there's 6 episodes, and I'm only on 4.
Okay.
The only 2 things I have critiqued is 1, I did say that maybe in the videos they shouldn't have said that he was taking drugs. They should have said medical prescription medication instead of drugs, because it was all prescriptions he was addicted to and had to take. I got that. That's the only critique. And number 2, that Sonny and Red were very sorry. And they have said it later on in life before they passed, that they were sorry for writing Elvis What Happened. They themselves said it later on after Elvis What Happened came out, that they were regretting that the way the circumstances happened, how they were fired. You know how Elvis would fire you on a Monday and hire you back on a Friday? That's how Elvis was. He told Vernon to fire Sonny and Red and that they were going to get rehired maybe eventually and to give him a severance pay, but Vernon did not do that. So they were very, as in any human, after being with someone for 20 years, getting fired with no severance pay, that they made a mistake. They said they were sorry later in life. And that's the only two things that I have said out of the 4 parts that I've seen so far.
Yeah. See what you just did, and that's the whole thing. That's what it's about. Everybody has their opinion.
I just defended Elvis and you guys without hurting people, name calling, and making people feel like crap. That's what I just did.
But you know what? You have the right, just like everybody. That's what I've said all along. That's what the whole thing is. Why the whole thing is so stupid to me. You know, and I'll say it again. I'm sorry. It's just me, but there's a whole lot with me. Elvis does not need defending, and I've, you know, the one that loves to say it, his favorite is, you know, Elvis's reputation's been varnished, been destroyed, been this, been that. Well, you know, he likes to throw challenges out there. Here's one for him. Prove it, just like I've asked him before, and he can't. If that were true, Elvis wouldn't be as big as he is today, now would he?
I think Elvis is bigger today with all of us than what he was in 77 when he died. I think the fandom has gotten bigger. And in my point of view, and I'm going to say it to Teresa, you, and you, Danny, because we're an Elvis family here, and I'm going to be really honest with you as I am with everybody else that watches my channel, is this. The only reason you should defend Elvis is if he was guilty of something.
Thank you.
In my point of view, in America, if you're defending someone, it's because they're guilty, right? Right? So what's he guilty of? Why does he need defending?
Nothing. No, I mean, no more than he was human just like us. I mean,
yeah. The only way I know if you need a defender, it's because you're guilty, right?
Yep.
So that's why I always tell people I'm an advocate, an Elvis advocate. I'd rather be an advocate than a defender, because if you're defending, it's because he's guilty. Because in America, in a court of law, you are innocent until proven guilty, right? But you have to have a public defender if you're guilty, right? So you're only guilty. You only need a defender if you're guilty. So in America, to me, it's like, what was he guilty of to need defending? So I always tell people I'm an Elvis advocate. I advocate for his family. I advocate for him because that's a better word. Because to defend someone in America, to defend is if you're guilty. So what's Elvis guilty of? This is my point of view. I mean, just
I see what like I said, the whole thing is just you know, is I mean, you know, it's hard for me to be nice. It's just you can't sit there and say that, you know, oh, his reputation's been destroyed, this and that. No, it hasn't. You just said it in your own words, like I said it. He is 10,000 times bigger than he was in 77.
he really is.
If all that was tarnished and you know you know, poor, what about poor Elvis? What about him? You know, he's doing great, and I'm sorry, it's not poor Elvis. You know.
Yeah, but you know, you and I both know because, and you, Teresa, we're in America. And if you need defending, it's because you're guilty.
Yeah.
So, in my point of view, it's like to be an advocate for Elvis is different than being defending. Because if you're defending someone, it's because they're guilty and you're trying to prove their innocence. But who am I but just some Elvis girl who does a YouTube channel?
Well, it like
It is a better word. It is a better word.
it really doesn't matter.
I mean, just
and-
like America way, America wise. If you need defending, you're guilty. If you don't need defending, just get an advocate. You'll be better off.
Well, you know, we do it because we love it. We owe it, I feel, to the Elvis family. And as long as they're showing the support and they want to see it, then we'll continue doing it. And I'll say this, and I mean it, when and it's not about you know, he's right about something. It's not about views, even though it gets views. It has nothing to do with views. Here's the thing, though. When you're not getting but a handful, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out. It's probably time you quit if nobody's interested.
Well, those few people seem to.
It's just a matter of opinion, Danny.
It is.
It's a matter of
And
opinion.
like I said,
Yeah.
you know, when you're showing
Whatever this side is, their opinion is theirs, and whatever this side is, their opinion is theirs, or whatever neutral, their opinion is theirs. But at the end of the day, it's like this. Why do we have to defend somebody who wasn't guilty?
exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, we should just stand. How about this? Another word, stand up to the backlash, stand up to the falsehoods, stand up for Elvis if someone is saying crap about him that isn't true.
Exactly.
You know, and I do that. But there's some people that aren't happy that I am reviewing all the Kingsmen. But at the end of the day, I've
And you
never
know what?
watched it, Danny. I'm on part 4. I haven't even watched part 5 or 6 yet because I won't watch it unless I'm recording, because I told them you're going to get my live reaction. I'm on part 4. There's 6. I got 2 more parts. But the thing is, I don't want to judge something that I had never watched. So when people keep telling me that something is bad, I want to watch it to see it for myself and judge for myself that if it's bad or not. I'm not
We
going to
do.
let somebody else tell me something is bad unless I've seen it first.
Exactly.
And
We
that's
do
the
the
thing.
same thing.
People are
And that's
mad
the
at
way.
me.
And you know what? Nowhere ever have my parents or me and Teresa ever said, you got to like it, you got to agree with it. You know, we know that. In the real world, that's not going to happen, and we understand that. But here's the thing. If it is the truth, and you want to talk about it, tell it, or whatever, there's nothing wrong with it.
I know, but I do have 2 things to ask you, Danny. I know your
I'm
dad.
not
I know your dad isn't around right now, but I'm on part 4 of all the King's Men, and there's 6 parts. I'm on part 4. And I've noticed that there are some things that Marty Lacker says and Lamar Fike says that sometimes your dad would have a different facial expression, like when they say something controversial. Like, I think that they're saying what they're saying their truth, right? But your dad has a different facial expression, like he wishes they hadn't went there. So My question is,
You know, I don't know, Dad.
I don't know. It's just when I see people talk, I can read body language and facial expressions. So when there are some things that are brought up in 1 through 4 so far. I haven't watched 5 and 6, so give me a break on that one. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm on part 4. But on 1 through 4, when your father is sitting there just being him, Lamar Fike will say something, Marty Lacker will say something, and sometimes Dave and Sonny will say something, and your dad would be like, but he doesn't say anything. I was wondering if maybe, and I know your dad ain't, he's there, but he's not there. But the thing is, it's like
Right.
I can see with his facial expressions that he wishes that maybe Lamar Fike or Marty Lacker wouldn't have said it that way. Because I can tell in your dad's eyes that it's like, but he doesn't
Well,
say it.
you see that, other people may see it. I mean, I've watched it. You know, I didn't see it, or I hadn't paid attention to that. One thing though, to answer your question, of course you knew was coming. I mean, I would never speak, you know, for my daddy. But you know, he done got me kind of, you know, I may go back and watch it a little more, pay a little more,
Watch the ones I covered, because I actually
pay a
say
little more.
my piece in it, but I can see. I've never studied body language, facial expressions, anything, but studying a human person, you can tell with his facial expressions when he's happy when someone mentions something, or
Right.
when he's not quite sure when someone puts something out there. You can tell in your daddy's eyes.
Well,
And his body language that it's like, you can tell.
right. I mean, like I said, I can't speak for him, but you know, I do get that from him, and Teresa can tell you, and you've probably seen a lot of people on the videos and stuff. We'll, like right now in this, we've been doing something, and then my mind will be on totally something else. No disrespect or nothing. I mean, we do it in our own videos, and right, and and Daddy, I get that from Daddy. And then, you know, so it's possible throw an impression because we may be like just lost, you know, at one time.
Oh, you know what I get from it? Hey, I'm going to put it this way. Teresa, I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a medical examiner, but I'm going to tell you something. I think that Elvis got his ADHD from the Smiths.
Oh, yeah.
Jim for
Yeah.
me.
I'm going to be honest. Well, my mama told some stories.
It is not the Presleys. It is not the
She told
Presleys at
Teresa-
all. It's all
Oh,
the Gladys side of the family. Teresa, look, she's laughing, Daddy. It has nothing.
Back in my day, they called it hyper, but that's because they hadn't figured out what it was.
That's a part. It's called ADHD, hyper anxiety disorder.
They were hyperactive.
Yeah.
Yes, all 4 things. And I really truly believe it does not co-align with the Presleys. It's on the Smith side, Danny. It's on the Smith side, honey.
A lot of things come to the Smith side. All right.
But
Now,
it
what's
has
number
nothing.
2?
Most of the best people in the world, and my husband and son is one of them. He is ADHD, and my son is too. The best minds are.
Oh, yeah.
It's when you can't quit thinking, or your body cannot quit moving to where your mind keeps thinking. It's
That's why I only sleep 3 or 4 hours a night.
no,
every night.
that's it. That's
I
it.
always have. She can tell you. Sometimes I've gone for days without even sleeping.
Hey, my son and my husband's the
It
same
won't
way.
shut off.
That's right. And I think Elvis had ADHD too, because he couldn't quit moving, either the mind or the leg, couldn't get moving.
A lot of it runs in the family. All right,
The Smiths.
I'm not arguing with you.
No, I didn't say you were, but I'm no doctor, but I know two people in my life that are like that. And it co-aligns. It's like your mind can't shut off and your body can't shut off with it. That's all that means.
Right. And you know, unlike maybe a lot of folks with this, I mean, I'm proud of it.
I'm glad.
Let me just repeat something you said earlier, but I am proud of it. I am a proud Smith ass kipper.
So am I, Teresa and Danny. I am. And it's like, it's not even just a Smith thing. It's just an Elvis fans matter, Memphis Mafia Kid, Elvis lover, period, person. Okay? We know where it all correlates. Okay? I'm just saying, I'm not a medical professional, but I know my husband and son, because my husband has it. He put it into my son, Teresa.
Yeah.
So I know that either the leg keeps thumping at the table or the brain doesn't shut off.
Exactly.
Or they keep talking about something over and over again before they go to bed. It's like, go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then they talk.
Now let's see how good your mind is. What you said you had 2 questions. What's the second one?
Okay. No, the second question is this, and it might be a little controversial, but it's been going on in the YouTube verse for a while. So your father and your mother and you have said certain things to a degree about the ex-wife of Elvis Presley. My question to you is, do you guys watch what you say about Priscilla? Or do you just say what you mean? Because when you go to another channel, which is another cousin, Donna Presley, she'll say things that you guys haven't said. So my question to you, Danny Smith, to the Smiths, is this. What would you tell us Elvis fans about Priscilla Presley that you guys have not shared before? Because Donna Presley has shared how she has disdained, how she doesn't agree, how she doesn't want her buried at Graceland, and how she was cold to Elvis when she was married to him. So my question to you, Danny, is do you agree with what Donna Presley has said? Do you hold back because are you scared of being sued? Or are you just telling us what you feel? I know, Teresa, but that's just the atmosphere of the world we live in. How do you really feel about the ex-wife, especially if she wants to be buried at Graceland by her ex-husband?
Let me start like this. Some of it, some of the things you said, we have. They're older ones. We go all the way up through. We have addressed our opinions, you know, on the video. Yeah, I'm glad you kind of brought that up. Let me get this straight.
I just know you got to be careful with what you say, but since Donna,
Donna
is not holding back, please
you don't. You don't if this is truth, and since you brought that up, I can. It gives me a good opportunity to address something. People telling, threatening, however they want to put it, legal actions on something that I have said. If you want to do it, whoever you are, do it. Let's go for it.
Well, I don't care about the lady that has a YouTube channel that has threatened to sue you because you're family. I don't care about that. What I care about is what you really truly believe about Priscilla Presley.
I know. I'm getting to that.
Okay.
You know, her included. You know, I'm going to say what I'm going to say is going to be the truth. Just like other people say, Priscilla, Donna, other fan Patsy Presley, you know, anybody. You know, people can say what they want to say, but remember when you say them, it goes around for everybody. Like one particular one likes to say, I'm going to expose them, bust them out on it. Well, guess what? If you telling something that ain't the truth, I'm gonna tell you. Now on Priscilla, I've said in a lot of videos early on. Priscilla was good. She, you know, when I was a kid, she was good, nice.
You spent a lot of time with your mom.
Right. Her and Mama at one time were very, very, very.
Oh yeah, if I remember correctly, Priscilla says that Joe and Patsy Presley was her favorite best friend.
Dude,
But in these days, how long has it been since she talked to her bestie? Because I'll tell you what, when she divorced Elvis, she wasn't besties with your mother anymore.
Exactly. And I'm gonna get to that. We all, like I said, things are different, and I don't really. I mean, if it has come up something, yeah, I'm sure not gonna back away from saying it. Did Priscilla? I think my opinion, and I'll always believe it. I've said it before on my videos. I think it exactly had a lot to do with why Lisa didn't have a connection with Elvis, the other side of Elvis' family, the Smith and others out there. She didn't want her to. So, I feel that way about it.
She basically didn't just rip Lisa away from Graceland. She ripped Lisa away from you guys, away from the Presley side, just everybody.
Right.
She didn't have respect for no one because Presley Smith, it didn't matter to Priscilla. She thought y'all were rednecks and didn't like you guys.
You're exactly right. And to answer your question, I mean, I could.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I guess it's just kind of, she don't never really say or mention anything about us. So I don't.
I was just saying, brother Danny, I'm going to call you my brother. I do that from time to time, but I was just saying, I don't have any love lost between Priscilla. But if you go by what she does and what Donna does, what you guys do, at the end of the day, there's no lawsuits going about how y'all feel about her. I have said so many things about Prissy Pants, and I've given her the name Prissy Pants, and I have never been judged on that from her team. So I'm just saying, if you could speak freely about how Lisa was ripped from you guys, how you didn't get to connect with her after you guys were about what?
You know what? I might start talking.
Since Donna isn't getting sued for what she's saying about Priscilla, you guys aren't going to get sued either.
Oh, I'm not.
Or your dad or your mama.
Like I said, here's the thing out there. Anybody could sue anybody.
Right. If you have $10,000 to $12,000, you can sue anybody you want. But the thing is, at the end of the day, Priscilla's not suing anybody right now.
Well, here's the thing about anybody suing anybody. Remember, you still got to go to court and you got to prove.
And you have to prove defamation. You have to prove something bad is said about someone that isn't
exactly. True. And when you're saying the truth, I'm sorry, it's the truth. Right. Whether you like it or don't like it. Let me go where I think maybe you're wanting me to go.
It's not that I want you to go there. It's just I have seen how freely another cousin is opening her channel up for views. So it's okay for you two, Danny, and your dad and your mom, because another channel is saying whatever the hell they want to. So guess what? That means you guys can too.
I'll state it.
If it's true, you can say whatever you want.
From me, and I've said it, but in case people don't know, I thought you already did because we've done it before. I disagree with a whole lot of stuff that Priscilla has said and done. One of them was what I just told you. Another one, and I will say this, that and I still stand by it. Donna wasn't there a whole lot. That's just the truth of the matter. But he was right about some of the things you said. Priscilla, uh, kind of, well, no, she didn't kind of. She took over. She treated people like shit.
Right.
And
She
that,
treated people like if it wasn't if correct me if I'm wrong, your daddy said it best. It was a few years ago. He said when he was the tour guide for Graceland, it was hard for him because when Elvis died, he had to go back to work for the railroad. Okay. Then he had to swallow his pride a little bit. And that's hard to do because my daddy did the same thing. Being a Southern man, it's hard to swallow your pride.
yeah,
But your daddy had to swallow his pride to be a tour guide for Graceland. Okay. And he said it best. Priscilla came in acting like she was Elvis, acting like she had to sit in the center, acting like she was involved, like she was
exactly.
the ringleader of it all.
That
So
is very
it's
true.
hard for your father, and I would see it hard for me.
And she wasn't.
Swallow your pride, right, Teresa?
She was
To
that
be a
quiet.
tour guide when he was an Elvis cousin and had to swallow his pride after the railroad to be a tour guide after he set up the trophy room. And
It
that's
was
my history. Danny, I know your daddy's history. He had to swallow his pride
there's
after
more
he
than that.
set up the trophy room for the tours in the early 80s. And then in 2 years' time, after fixing everything and making everything work, how Jack saw it and said, quote unquote, to your father, you have a love-hate relationship with Graceland.
Here,
And
you're,
hey, Jack,
you're
I was
exactly
here
right.
before you ever came into
Yeah.
play, baby.
You're exactly right. That's the reason. One of the reasons that I didn't stay there and work any longer than I did, and that's exactly why my daddy ain't there no more.
Right.
Do
Right.
do
And
I know?
I
Do
hear
I
people
do I
saying
have
that.
a bitter spot? I most certainly do have a bitter spot because uh, they used my daddy.
Mhm.
And I ain't just saying it because it's my daddy. I
Daddy,
they
great
got what they
man.
needed out of him, and then they wanted. It goes back to what I said before that Elvis never would do. You don't, especially when you are no better than anybody else. You don't treat people like that. You
Amen.
don't treat people like
You
that.
don't. You don't.
Uh,
And I came from the same type of thing that you came from.
they
You
had to ask
people
Daddy.
like that.
They were looking for things, and Daddy, and then they would ask him, and he would tell them, and go get the stuff for them.
They used your daddy to make the trophy room,
Yeah.
to get everything
Not just
the
a
way
trophy room.
to do, and then they told him to take a little pill and swallow it and just
Yeah.
pretend that I wasn't his cousin, that I wasn't there, and just go away.
Exactly.
Go away.
But what goes around comes around.
It does.
But the thing about it is, hey, that's the whole thing that we try to put out, and it makes one person mad because you have to have known him, you have to have lived with him, and you know what? Guess what? You're exactly right. You did, but
No, but
here's
if somebody, listen, Danny, if somebody did the research like I have, they should realize that your father didn't do trash for cash. If he did trash for cash, y'all would be sitting in money like it was no big deal. Your father had to swallow his pride like my daddy did with a broken back. Your father had to work at a gas station. Okay, I am tired of people taking your father and throwing him into the ground because they have no real sense of his history. There's no trash for cash. Y'all ain't living in no mansion. I ain't living in no mansion. You ain't living in no mansion. There's no trash for cash, Danny. He loved Elvis just like you did, just like your brother did, just like your mother did. There's no trash for cash.
Exactly.
I
But
know
look,
I'm being a little bit too personal, but I have dug into each and every one of y'all's history. I love you guys. But when somebody throws y'all's name into the mud, they need to realize what your real history is. There's no trash for cash, Danny. None.
well, look, and,
Zero.
and I'm going to say this, you know it, and I know it, and that's why, and that's what drives these certain people crazy. And they even say on their own shows, I don't understand it. I can't figure it out. Well, you know what? They never will. But a true Elvis fan family, we don't have to prove anything to. They already know, and we know them. Okay, and that's why we're where we're at. Like I said, don't owe nobody nothing. The thing about it that drives them crazy is, and if I never have tried to shun it on nobody's face or hold it on nobody's head or be better than nobody. But one damn thing I'm proud of is I did get to live that life.
At the end of the day, I have a kinship, not just with you guys, but I just know what it's like to be raised in the South when things and obstacles get in your way. And even though some good sunshine might blow on you, or you might have a celebrity in your family, but at the end of the day, it's who you are. You don't fake things, it's who you are. And I have done my research on the Smith family. I feel more of a kinship on y'all's side than I do the Presleys. And I'm not dogging the Presleys. I'm just saying I have more of a kinship to the Smith side than I do the Presleys, just because y'all's history and where you guys have been and how y'all have been raised and how y'all have been just where you are. And at the end of the day, I just know this. When someone says trash for cash, you would think y'all be living in some 4-story big mansion, like way up on a hill. Yeah, whatever. Y'all lost everything just as Elvis when he died. Y'all were here on a mansion, on a hill, and then you had to go and do your own thing. And it's like, here's the thing. My daddy and I, my mom, we were all living high and mighty until my dad broke his back in 2. And then we all had to get together and think, what can we do now?
All right, you know what it's called? It's
Real
called
life?
Yeah, it's called life.
Life. Exactly. And it's not just who you know, it's how you're raised. And the thing is, if you go look at the history, even in Elvis and Gladys, the book Elvis and Gladys, you look at it and it's like, wait a minute. Y'all were from nothing. A 1-room shack. They called it a shotgun shack because you pulled a shotgun and pulled the trigger. It'd go out the front door and out the back door. It was so small. And I was raised in a place like that too until my daddy did something better in his means until he broke his back. But at the end of the day, it's family takes care of family. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, Danny. That's all that matters. So, hey, the noise going on over here and the noise going on over here and what's going on over here, at the end of the day, is what y'all have. Family means everything. Everything. And it's
That's what I was trying to,
yeah.
you know, and I don't want it to seem like I said, I don't know. Really,
I know, I get passionate, and I'm sorry, but I get judged by how passionate I get. But at the end of the day, that's how I feel, Teresa and Danny. That's how I feel.
Usually, I mean, I don't see the point in, unless, you know, she's directed something toward me or my family. No, look, to finish answering that question, like I said,
family is family.
I like you said, I don't have any love lost for Priscilla either, but uh, you know why people want to. It's not it's not going to change anything, and to us, it really don't matter. Like you said, we moved on, we lived our life, and guess what? Uh, Priscilla wasn't the one we lived it for. Elvis was, and you know, we know what we meant to him, and he knew, you know, how we felt about him, and we knew how he felt about us. And that's all that matters.
At the end of the day, family is family. But
It
the
is.
thing is, you've got two families going on right now. No. Three. You've got yours, the Presleys, and the Beaulieu's.
Oh yeah.
Three.
Yeah.
Right now. So what I'm trying to say is you guys were raised from very humble beginnings. Elvis will never, and he has never forgotten his roots. He talks about it a lot throughout his life. And you have two. And then you have the Presley side. But if you look at history and you look at the books, the Smith side talks a heck of a lot more than the Presleys or the Beaulieu's.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid of being sued, Danny, when it comes to what I call prissy pants, because she's not suing the Presley side. So why would she sue the Smiths?
Don't worry about that.
Like I said, I guess with me, here's a good way for me to put it. It's like mind over matter.
Right.
I don't mind. She don't matter.
Teresa, I can see why you're with this bloke right here. My husband's the same exact way. You'd rather be with someone who puts it out there bluntly than to roll around with it. I love it. Mind over matter. My mind, she don't matter.
Right. And on our show, you know, it's about Elvis, and I'm trying, I'm trying to keep it as much of that because that's
it's
only
not just about that, Danny. You've talked about Lisa too. You're not just the Memphis Mafia Kid. You were running around with Lisa in your own little group while the Memphis Mafia were taking care of Elvis. You and Lisa had your own little group going on. And did you guys have okay, since Elvis had the Memphis Mafia, did you guys ever call yourselves anything like that? Anything?
Believe it or not, we didn't. Now, we called each other some good choice names at times.
Right?
To think young kids and teenagers, especially with the group we was around and things we heard, we had some real, lovely names. Some people would probably wouldn't appreciate it.
Hey, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. What's one of the names y'all called yourselves?
Each other? You want mild, or you want medium, or you want hot?
It's her birthday.
Let me say this in Mexicano, caliente, Danny. Give me hot.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll give you a little bit of
what.
One of our favorite words that we had for each other, and don't ask me where we just come up with it. And Lisa loved it. We called each other merged turds, and I've said that in the video.
Okay, repeat it again.
Murd turds.
Murd turds?
Murd turds.
What's murd mean?
Like I said, don't ask me.
It rhymes with turds.
Yeah, it just murd turds. We'd say that a lot.
I was wondering if it was an anonym or nothing, or something like means something like murd turds.
And you asked me, so I'm gonna tell you. I don't particularly, believe anything, but if you want to believe it, you want to believe it. You ask. We called each other a-holes. We called each other
A-holes?
huh?
Did you say a-holes?
Yes.
You called each other assholes? You should have
Assholes.
said, we're the Memphis Mafia asshole kids.
Yes, yes. I thought. No, wait a minute. I thought you meant what was names we called each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. I meant like, okay, so your cousin Elvis and his side were the Memphis Mafia. And
Right.
you call yourself the Memphis Mafia Kid. So I was thinking in my head, maybe y'all called each other the Memphis Mafia Kids. I don't know. Just
Believe it or not, we didn't. We didn't. Guess we just never really thought of it.
and I was just thinking, Danny, what does murd turds mean?
Murder?
Mhm.
Like Lisa would like Rory usually spent the night with us out at the trailer.
And I know that Lisa had a crush on him.
Right.
No, she
And
did.
she would ride and circle the trailer, and then she knew where my bedroom window was. And she would holler out to wake us up to get us to come out, and that was one of the things she'd say, "Wake up, you murd turds! Get up, murd turds!" That's just what we do.
Just telling y'all to get up. Get up.
Yeah.
I need entertaining. Come on.
I mean, once again, a lot of people don't like it. And you shouldn't say that. But Lisa even said it in her own book stuff.
No, but she never mentioned that in her book. So I love that. Murd turds, Teresa.
Right. I'm sure we did. One of her favorites were F you and go to hell all at the same time.
I mean, sorry, excuse my French, but I'm Southern, but fuck you, motherfuckers. We're going to go play.
Well, and that's what I said.
Teresa, I'm sorry.
Like if you, and we said it, we said it too, but a whole lot of times,
Yeah.
you'd say something and she'd say, well, I'll give you the name. She'd say, fuck you, Danny, and go to hell all at the same time.
That's when she was really mad.
She told Elvis fans at the gates a lot of worse things than that, guys.
She did.
I mean,
She
she didn't understand the celebrity of her father until later on. She thought they were in the way. She didn't understand what fans were.
That's right, and a part of it though, on the other side, flip side of that, she did, and she just, like a lot of kids, she just didn't give a damn. She said and did,
Well, she probably thought, in reality, if I were her, and I'm not, but if I were to, in my walk of life, I normally try to walk a mile in someone's shoes. Like, I think, like, what could they be thinking, or what could they be, wondering? Right. And in my point of view, she was probably maybe kind of jealous of how Elvis fans took her daddy away from her from time to time. Like, who are you? Why do you want to get between me and my daddy? Why are you at the gate?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like all of us, she felt and said a lot of things, and some stuff like that.
But later on in life, she started to love us and accept us because she realized that we loved Elvis. And when she had her own albums and came out and stuff, she realized that when we accepted her as her father, we core-aligned. It's the same thing as we with you guys. Right. She accepted us and pulled us in just as we pulled her in. But it took her a little while because in the beginning she was calling us effing assholes and stuff, and signing paper like, she said it herself. She was ornery with the Elvis fans when she was little.
But a lot of that was us kids trying, like all kids, most all of them, I've done it one time or another, of trying to be big adults and use the ugly words and hey, think we're something. That's what a lot of that was too.
Well, they said it herself. She even said that there was one time somebody asked her to take a picture of her dad and gave her their camera, and she would take their camera, say F you, and run with it and never
She
give
did.
them their camera back.
She did.
So, you
She did.
know,
That was true.
Yeah.
I've told a lot of this stuff. There was times when they would want to take a picture of her, and her they are us on the golf cart or whatever, and she would do it for candy or something. She'd get them to go. There used to be a store across the street in that plaza, and they would go over and get like sacks full of candy and stuff and bring them, and then she would do it.
yeah, but
Or
she probably still didn't give them the pictures that they wanted.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, she was, she was
Well,
funny. She had a sense of humor that was like a lot like her daddy's, and
Yeah.
and our families.
I think Elvis had a more of the Smith side than he did of the Presleys. And, that's my personal opinion. Y'all don't crucify me, but he loved his mother, Gladys, more than anything.
Sure he did.
So, in my personal opinion, and I know that he loved his daddy. I know that he loved his daddy. I'm not stupid.
He
But
did
in my
love his
personal opinion, he loved his mama. He worshipped his mama.
mom. I feel good.
So what side of the family do you think that he would have, that us or him would be on? My personal opinion being that he worshipped his mama. His mama was a Smith, not a Presley. But I ain't going to push sides here. But I'm just saying, even though I do respect Vernon and the role and what he did for Elvis, being the bookkeeper and the money keeper and everything, at the end of the day, Elvis loved his mama more than anything. So why wouldn't he have respect and love for the Smiths, which included your daddy, your mama?
Oh, I know about. And once again, like I said, I could care less. I ain't got to prove nothing to nobody.
I ain't trying to prove nothing, Danny. That's my personal opinion.
I know, but I mean, I've seen it and lived it, and it's just, and I've tried to
Right.
avoid doing videos and stuff. The relationship of him and my daddy, the way they care for each other, sometimes you just can't explain.
The way that he
You can
wailed,
see it.
cried, and begged when his mama died. The way that he was the day that Gladys was put into the ground
Yeah.
told me everything I needed to know.
Yeah.
And the way that Gladys was when she was when she was supposed to have two twins and ended up only having one live one, and how she acted when the other one was not alive. That gives me everything I need to know, Danny, because I'm going to tell you one thing. I am a mama of one son. I was supposed to have more children than one, but God only gave me one. And when I gave birth to my one son, that's when I had cancer. And when they had to rip everything out of me where I couldn't have any more children, that's when I realized I was more of a advocate, per se, to a mother who can only have one
Well,
than many.
remember what we said earlier, things happen for a reason.
They do, Danny. They do.
I mean,
But
that's
the thing is,
not-
even my birthday's the 24th of April. Your great aunt Gladys was the 25th of April.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in my life that aligns more with the Smith side than the Presley. And I ain't even trying to cross lines or do whatever. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, the way I was raised, and y'all are only 300 miles from me. We're all raised the same in the South here. I have Coraline myself in the way I feel more with the Smiths. And that's just how I feel, Teresa and Danny and Joe and Billy, if you're listening. But that's just how I am, guys. I'm small town, country fried, Arkansas type of person. I might be in Georgia now, but I was small town, 300 population, country fried, Arkansas, across the border from you guys in Mississippi type of person. I just know that family is everything. Family is where you should stay. And when it comes to lies, gossips, or whatever your opinion is, at the end of the day, family is everything, period. And when you grow up from nothing, from a pauper into whatever you are in life, because I went to Tupelo not very long ago and I watched what the house was and the car under the pavilion and things.
Yeah.
But it's like, at the end of the day, I'm just going to put it out there, okay? I feel more of a kinship with how you all are than I am with anything else, if that makes any sense.
It does. And girl,
Yeah.
you know,
It's not just it's a kinship with the Southern Fried. Don't have anything more, paycheck to paycheck, live below, beyond your means type person. That's how I am as a person, as a Southern Fried.
and we like you just the way you are. We appreciate you. And I will be honest with you. I'm getting hungry. I had no dinner. So I am gonna have me something to eat.
Oh, I understand that. There's one more question before my birthday bash is over. Are you ready for this? This is simple, easy peasy.
Who's it for?
Me?
It's his birthday.
Okay.
This is for my personal.
Okay.
So, I'm doing a new segment called the Presley Pantry, right? And I'm cooking peanut butter banana sandwiches and banana pudding and all this stuff from his recipes, right?
Yes, and you know what? I'm not trying to cut you off. We talked about this before, and I know what you need. You need some recipes.
So, are men always like this, honey buddy?
And you know what? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you a couple of recipes.
Are you going to give me a couple of Smith recipes? Because it's all Presley at this point. I want some Smith too.
Yes. Well, one of them that I'll give you, me and Teresa created ourselves. We thought of it. And come on. Now I don't know if anybody else has or not, but
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
It's you've heard of green fried tomatoes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard of grilled green tomatoes?
Grilled?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, granted, I have fried green tomatoes, and my mama has fried green tomatoes with okra, but I've never grilled.
We've had all that. No, this is grilled on the grill,
So good.
Well,
and we'll give you the recipe. Me and Teresa sat one night and thought it out, and added it, and then went back and decided what it needed and added some more. So now we've got and we love them when
hey, you had me at recipes, honeys. I love to cook. I love to put it on camera, and I would love to have whatever you have or your mama.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the Smiths are as important as the Presleys in my book. So I don't just want to learn the Presley family cookbook. I want to know the Smiths, Danny, from your mama. And I've already done the peanut butter and banana sandwiches the way they're supposed to be done. I want everything. I'm tired of just the Smiths. Tired of just the Presleys. I need the Smiths too. Because everything in all the cookbooks of all the history, it's always about what Elvis wanted or the Presleys. Well, we need to know the Smith family recipes, Danny.
I will get with
because
Mama and we'll get that. We'll get you a few.
I can't go on my cooking channel. Here's my apron. I can't
Oh, I
go on
love
my cooking channel with
Love
my
it.
Elvis apron and not cook some Smith family recipes.
I love it. I love it.
And I wanted to show you guys something. I had a birthday cake baked for me today from my boss and the women at my job.
Wow.
And this was on my birthday cake.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
good. What it's all about.
I have never had anything before in my job wise until now, but it was like I turned my back. They were trying to sneak. You know how they sneak to try to not let you know what was going on, but they put me in another area and been like, oh, go over here and do this. We're going to do this. And within 10 minutes I was done and I walked and here was a cake with this guy on top. So just because they know I love Elvis so much. And it's like the day has been awesome. It wasn't just what my job did for me. It's what you guys did for me too. Your mom and dad coming on. You guys know, hey, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Danny, Teresa, Billy, Joe, I love you guys. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for making me feel like I matter. Thank you.
Happy
Well,
birthday.
you do matter. It was our privilege. We are Elvis family. We love you too, girl. And you know, it makes my heart and Teresa's and Mom and Dad's too feel good that it, you know, it meant something to you. I mean, it's just like I said, we're nobody different from men, but we do care.
No, it meant everything to me. You guys know the bad things that has happened the last couple of years and a half. You guys, you made me feel like I matter. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being on my show. Thank you for giving me the best birthday ever. From me to you, thank you.
Well, thank you. And like I said, you do matter. And we're going to continue on. You know, down the road, we'll do this again sometime and you know, maybe some other things. So, but hey, have a nice rest of your birthday. Enjoy it with your family.
You call your mama back.
Yeah.
I will. You guys know I will. In my mom's point of view, Elvis should have been my dad. Oh my God.
I think that was my mom too.
Wait, Teresa, did you understand? My mom wished that she'd have been with Elvis, but I'm just saying, guys, you guys make me feel like I'm a part of the family. Thank you guys. Thank you for being there with me. Thank you for being here for my birthday. And thank you guys for having my channel on my back, because at the end of the day, I'm going to have y'all's family and your channels on my back. Thank you guys.
We got yours, and tell Kyle we said hello to.
I will. Definitely. 100%.
OMMK is going to eat. Love you, girl.
Absolutely. I love you guys too. So here we go again, guys. TCB TLC. God bless you all. And you know what? I'll see you on the other side. And guess what, guys? Always live Elvis. Always.
We always live Elvis.
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. I love y'all.
All right. Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye now.